I have set a goal for myself to get a back bend back. I used to have one, no problem. And then I don't really know what happened. I just kind of quit working on it, quit doing it really. It wasn't even that I had to really work on it. I just kind of, it came out of my practice. I quit doing it. And now I keep getting glimpses of myself from the side and I'm like getting a hunchback. And I think it's because I don't do back bending. So I'm going to get back in my practice. It is like full effort to even attempt one. So the things that I'm going to do that is bridge to warm up, which in yoga is shoulders on the mat, lifting the hips. In gymnastics, a bridge is actually what I'm trying to get back in my practice. I'll do Sphinx pose. I'll do extended puppy pose each day. And then I'm just going to have to go for it. I'm just going to have to do it every single day. And it's going to be probably a little bit challenging, a little bit painful. And I'm just going to have to do what I can do. So maybe 3 rounds each day, hold as long as I can, and do my best to breathe through it. Ideally, I would be able to maybe even drop back someday. So from a standing position, just arms up, drop it back. Right now, that feels impossible, and I don't know that that's something that I could do again. So here we go. I'm going to start my drills today. This is day 1, January 11th, and we'll see when I feel like I can actually get that back. Okay, here we go. Bridge pose, or sorry, wheel pose. It would be bridge in gymnastics. Wheel pose in yoga. I'm feeling pretty nervous about this. Not because I don't think that I can do it physically. I do. I know I can do it. I just know that it's not going to be pretty. It's going to take a lot of effort. And there is going to be some pain involved with it. Not in a way that I'm going to hurt myself, but in a way that like, I just am going to experience some tightness and some tension. So here we go. Oh, okay. So I know that it looks like I can do this pose, but this is not how it used to feel in my body. My elbows used to be straight and my feet and my hands were a little closer together. I think that's one important lesson. It's important not to compare yourself to other people because how something looks to someone else is not necessarily how it feels. We're all at different points on our journey. So I would like for that to feel a little better in my body and for my chest to open up a little bit more, for my shoulders to not be rounding forward so much. I'm going to do 2 more of those. And I really think that over time, this is going to get a little bit easier, especially if I actually commit to it. So I want to maintain mobility in my spine and not make that noise. Okay. I also want to make sure I'm breathing in that posture. So I'm going to take 1 more of those in just a second. Okay, 1 more for today. One thing I'm really focused on to keep my shoulders healthy when I'm doing that is making sure that as I press into my palms when I'm going up, that my elbows don't flare out. So I'm using a lot of tricep strength in this. Okay, feet are about hip width apart. Pressing down equally through my hands and my feet. As I begin to press up, I'm really pressing through my triceps. Oh, and then coming up on my toes is giving me a little bit more space over time. I would like to be able to keep my feet flat to the floor. I'm going to try to stay here for 2 more breaths. And those breaths are very shallow today. Okay. So I will admit it was not as awful feeling in my body as I had expected, but also not at all where I once was. But you know, that's kind of part of it too. part of, one, not doing something in your practice, and two, part of aging. But I do want to continue to keep my spine mobile and feeling really good and getting that backward bend back to a place where it feels good, where I feel like I could do that in a class and not make that noise, I think would be an ideal goal for 2025. So feel free to follow along. Feel free to jump in and practice with me if you had a back bend practice at one point. Thanks for joining along.